Hi everyone, the Vibe Kage here, and this is What If Naruto Was Raised by Kurama? Now, before we begin, in how or why, let us explain, Kurama. See, before Kushina and after Mito, I'm gonna add another Jinchuriki for the sake of mine, or if there was another Jinchuriki, then I forgot who it was. Regardless of that, that person ended up dying. Kushina found, Kurama when he was still young, like small. She sealed him, like saying, hey, you can just use my chakra until you grow big and, we can tag team it. She was very friendly and bubbly and won Kurama over. Kurama just, you know, he couldn't really disagree. He was weak. She could literally beat the shit out of him. Like, she had more chakra than he did, and he knew that. So the fact that she's saying, hey, you can use my chakra to help, like, speed up your growth process. Kurama agreed. She went. They became friends. Then everything else happens as normal. But when Kurama's being sealed in to, like, Kushina, and when he escaped, yes, he was his full size, but no, he wasn't his full size. He was about half his size. So he's still, like, pretty much, like, what would be sealed in Naruto is full power Kurama, but at half strength, because he had died still. Even though he had fed himself off of Kushina's chakra for so long. And, when he realizes that he's, like, stabbed through Kushina and Minato, he's still, he feels bad. No, he wouldn't stab through them. Kushina's dying because of the Jinchuriki extraction. Minato's dying because Obito and Jet infected him with some poison. I'm gonna have to do him dirty like this, or kind of shit on Minato in this, or heighten Obito in this to think, okay, he can teleport. I just need one nick and that should be fine. So, yes, poison, courtesy of, like, sorcery, so this ain't gonna be fun. Well, not sorcery, Madara. Madara would know poisons really well too, honestly, if I think about it. So Madara gave him the poison. Wow, I really should have, like, figured that out more. Damn. It's because I'm always debating on which one to go with. And then when I think of one way, I think of another. So regardless, Minato's still dying, Kushina's still dying. But as, Minato seals all of Kurama within Naruto, he promises Kushina and Minato that when Naruto's of age, he will tell him, like, his power given, and whenever he's in danger, he will always help him. So Naruto won't be nerfed as badly as normal, so we're doing him some justice. And, yeah, now there is some other things that, when I was creating this, I thought to add on because it'd be more interesting. Now, here is where things get fun. When Danzo snitches and blames everything on Naruto like in canon, Kurama tells Naruto, he takes this chance, originally, I didn't want to come to you this young, but granted how, everything's kind of going bad, why don't you leave the village? Naruto's just like, I can't leave the village. Like, he wants to be Hokage. He wants to, like, be the Hokage. He wants to be the Hokage. I'm gonna say it again. He wants to be the Hokage. He can't leave the village. But, because he doesn't know, like, how deep the hatred goes yet, Naruto still believes that this is his home. This is his place to go. Oh, nah. It's already been like a week since they've already let people know that Naruto's the monster. So, they leave him alone. But the place that he was staying, like, where, like, legit his room, I'm gonna say he was still at the orphanage, but not at his own apartment yet. That section, even the owner said, we'll blow this up. Y'all owe me a fuck ton of money, because the insurance ain't gonna, like this shit. because I don't got that insured. I don't got ninja shinobi bombing. So, yeah. So they think Naruto was there sleeping when it wasn't, but yeah. They blow up his room thinking that Naruto's dead, and they are cheering this. And Naruto, he overhears this, and Kurama's telling him, "Are you sure you want to be here?" Eventually Naruto agrees with Kurama, like, yeah, maybe he should just leave. So Kurama tells him, okay, we'll sneak out here in a bit. He knows a way out. And where are they going, you may ask? Well, they're going to go to, like, the remains of the Whirlpool country. Now, Naruto, when he asks Kurama, isn't that really far? Kurama saying, yes, but he's going to share some chakra to Naruto. And, Naruto, all he has to do is just kind of let Kurama take over for the speed boost. For Naruto, it'd just be like taking a small nap. For Kurama, 20-minute run. Naruto's just like, are you that fast? And Kurama's just like, no, I just cheat a lot. Kurama and Naruto share a small, like, chuckle, but Naruto's still kind of bummed out that, the village is, trying to do him dirty like this. So, when he leaves, no one really notices. And a week goes by before, Hiruzen and Iruka start wondering where Naruto is. And, eventually, a drunk shinobi lets it slip out, like, that, they had blown up the thing, because they were bragging, saying, I killed the demon brat. There was no body, nothing. So, Hiruzen took this as, reality. He got the guy. He asked, who else was involved. They went as far as to torture their own shinobi to find out. He gave up their names, and Hiruzen did a public execution and explained that Naruto was the son of the 4th Hokage, and that, they just done fucked up. This does leave a dark cloud about, the whole hidden Leaf Village. And, eventually the rumor just spread, because rumors do spread. The Leaf Village is known for their traitors and backstabbers. You can't trust no one from the Hidden Leaf. They will leaf you behind. Yes, it was for the joke. Fight me on the internet. Actually, no, never mind. I probably wouldn't even care enough. I love this song. Drama by AGR. My phone's become so loud. I gotta stop. Anyway, Naruto, during his week, he's pretty much he's found his country, remains of the Whirlpool. He's found a secret bunker where, Kurama is leading Naruto. And Naruto's confused. Like, why are we going here? Kurama's saying, there's something here that, Kushina would want Naruto to have. Well, things to have, since he's alone, they might as well take everything. Naruto's kind of confused, and, when he walks in, he sees a giant Ashura statue. This Uzumaki, like, there was those who knew about the actual Ashura Otsutsuki and his chakra avatar. They made a statue of the chakra avatar and a small statue to Ashura as well. Blessings. And Ashura knew about this, and, as a gift within the chakra scroll, he sealed some of his chakra, bedded one of their women, and, their heir, his rightful heir to his chakra would be able to use this. Kurama, thinking that, why not give it a shot, because fuck it, why not? Naruto grabs the scroll, pumps his chakra through it, and not only does the scroll react, but the statue itself, all 6 eyes glow, as, Naruto enters another mindscape, but within the scroll, where he meets Ashura Otsutsuki. Now, Ashura Otsutsuki tells Naruto that, congratulations, you're my heir? You know, Ashura's just like scratching his cheek. He's just like, he honestly didn't know how this would work. But, he places a hand on Naruto's forehead, reads his head because Naruto's really young, so he just wants to get a quick summarize. And when he realizes what had happened and that, Naruto still has a good heart about it, he hugs the little Naruto. Little Naruto's kind of confused, but, he feels like it's familiar. Almost as if it was like an older brother hugging him. So he just, embraces Ashura back. Ashura, he's just like, you know what, kid? You might be young, but I see no reason why you shouldn't be able to take my power. He then again places his hand on Naruto's forehead, and then he says, wait, hold up, so I can say this properly. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, Ashura is the one who's gonna give Naruto this ability. So rather than cursed energy, it's, no, Otsutsuki, Sage's six paths chakra. Refined, and rather than the mark of the sun, it is just straight Ashura giving Naruto this power. That does not mean he doesn't have, the mark of the sun. He won't get it. That's just later on in life. That's Hagoromo. This is Ashura giving him a buff. This is a power, that's going to be unique to Naruto. Ashura is not sure all that's going to, happen once he gives him all this power. Because the first Hokage, I don't know why I was going to say Mizukage for some reason. My mind kind of fucked up then. The first Mizukage, not Mizukage, see, I did that to myself. The first Hokage, he had his own special sage mode that gave him that wooden statue that was belonging to Ashura. So I'm going to take this as a sign that Ashura descendants get unique sage modes, and fuck it. That's why this is why it goes. Now for Naruto, he will always have the crest on his forehead of Sukuna that was on the thumbnail. My thumbnail, that probably won't be the thumbnail. But, whenever Naruto wants to use his ability, this is what he has to do. This is what he says. One more time. Do y'all get it? That's Naruto. That's what he has to do. That's all he has to say. That is what that scene was in the middle photo. And once Naruto says that, he'll enter, his Sage Mode. Which, Sage Mode in this would be the amalgamation of the Sage Mode of the Dragon and the Frog. And also the Slug one. Which, Slug one, I'm going to argue, is the 100 Seal healing one with the regeneration. Just because I want to bullshit. Now, Ashura, he leaves that mark on Naruto's head, and he explains to him, you just need to do this hand sign and pump the chakra in your forehead and make it expand. This would cause Naruto, his body to alter. He gets the tattoos. And, this is finally when Kurama, shows up in the mindscape. Because he was trying to, enter, but he couldn't. Kind of like a dog scratching at the door. Kurama eventually just kind of, forces himself in. Ashura recognizes him. Just like, oh, wait. You're Kurama, right? My dad made you. You're kind of like my brother, aren't you? Kurama realizes this is Ashura Otsutsuki. And, he's just like, wait. You mean Naruto's actually? Yep, in heir to the Otsutsuki. So, will you do me a favor and, help him around the edges with this power? This is when Ashura starts to, fade into nothingness because the chakra is about to run out. He then explained, already told Naruto, the hand sign for him. And all he would need to do, it's just, have fun with what's around them. The weapons are theirs to take. Kurama smiles and he nods. You know, Ashura already knows what Kurama wants, so yeah. Now we're doing a time skip of 10 years. Yes, 10 years. So Naruto's 14. He has mastered his, Otsutsuki Sage Mode, which is what this is, just for the sake of simplicity. So, not Frog Sage Mode, not Dragon Sage Mode, not the Curse Sage, but Otsutsuki Sage. Now, this is where, you know, the ninja teams are barely being formed. And I know they were originally formed when they were like 12 and 13, but I'm making them 14 just for the sake of it's easier. But, just hear me out. They are 14. They have to be a genin for at least 3 years before they can take the Chunin exams. That's our situation. Now, also to replace Naruto to make it a lot easier, it's, Hanabi. Hanabi is the prodigy Hyuga child. Sakura is the dead last. And Hinata is, Hanabi's younger twin sister. Hanabi was born first. So Hanabi is the oldest, not the youngest sister who outshines the oldest sister, just the oldest sister who's there and does what the oldest sister is. Granted, this also puts Hinata in the same boat as, Neji. Kind of fucked, I know, but it had to be. So, yes, Hinata does have, that cage seal on her forehead, too, which she's hidden very well with her, bangs. And, Hanabi also does not like how her father has done things. So, for Hanabi, whenever she becomes, the head of the clan, she's going to, try and separate and do away with all this, main branch and, lesser branch. She thinks that's bullshit, because Hanabi's a good one in this one. Of course, my neck. Konohamaru doesn't have that, same, friendship with everyone, so Konohamaru and this one is, hated and but, in the village because of his stupidity and pranks, but no one can do shit to him because, he's the grandson of the third Hokage, and that's why he's acting out. No one, sees Konohamaru as Konohamaru. Which, yeah, poor little shit, but that don't matter. You see, after, their teams are set, they're gonna do their ninja missions. Despite Sasuke hating the fact that he has to do this, he has no choice but to follow the rules, so he can't enter the Chunin exams until 3 years have passed, and so we're doing another time skip. But however, during this time skip, Naruto has made his presence known outside of the ninja world. You see, within the remains of this Uzumaki shrine of Ashura, there were a lot of ninja tools created, using various chakras of the Jinchurikis. All of the Jinchuriki's chakras were made into this. That's how old these weapons are. Now, the metals they were made were using also asteroids, rare metals, metals that were in volcanoes, shit like that. Even, fragments of the moon condensed down. That's how rare and special these materials are. Granted, they also would use some special tools for him, but that's hearsay, if you will. And Naruto is proficient in every single one of these. Now, granted, at first glance, they just look like ordinary tools sometimes, so you wouldn't really know about, some of them. One of them's just the ring. You would never know that it gave him the ability to manipulate all water with just barely any use of his chakra, without really needing to weave any hand signs. You wouldn't know that, I'm gonna be hinting at what these ninja tools are based off of, and I hope y'all are smart enough to understand which ones they are. Because if not, I would be kind of, what would be the word? Saddened. This is Blood on Me by Sudden Death and Slander. One of my personal favorite ones. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm trying not to yawn. I'm almost looking. I'm back. And I'm back to where I had my notes. And he has that one ring. And on his back, what really surprises everyone is it looks like to be a big piece of fuck off scissors. And I mean giant. Which, Naruto, well, they don't know. No one knows who this ninja is. He doesn't reveal his name. He goes by Ashura, and that's it. His alias is Ashura, and that's just it. Because, he named himself after a god, the devil. A devil, or demon. It kind of gets tricky, because you also have Ashura, Shura, you have Oni, a lot of different terms for, like, demon, but shit like that. I feel like I'm stalling. I'm not trying to, I'm sorry. But no, Naruto has these tools, and, those who have been saved by Naruto can tell, like, that giant pair of fuck-off scissors, well, yes, it could just stay as a pair of fuck-off scissors. He just puts a little bit of chakra, they separate into being, a dual-wielding blades, and, he's pretty fucking efficient as a dual wielder. We're not gonna give him, like, nah, you can't do that. And, Naruto also has these cool little gloves that have these threads, his ninja tools. He also has this spool on his back that connect to it, which, rather than ninja thread and cable, he has this one, which it was made using the silk of the, Seven Tails and amped by all of the Jinchuriki. That's why this thread is so special. It was just the spool. Naruto decided to, modify it in a way where it'd be easier, where it's kind of like he's his own puppeteer. He can manipulate, like, the threads however he wants to. The more chakra he puts to it, the thicker and denser it becomes, and the easier it is for him to, start fighting. And let's see. I mean, he has other ones, but I feel like I might want to save those for later on, so let's not worry too much. But, yeah. Anyway. He has quite a few, I'm not going to lie to you. On his back, I'll tell you one more thing. Like, the one thing, like, in case you're wondering, doesn't, like, ninjas come for him? Yes. His main form of escape is the fact on his back, whenever he pumps chakra through his shoulder blades, where these are attached, wings form out of his back out of these two discs. And these wings have special properties because they make chakra feathers that, like, normally they're fine. Like, he can use them to fly. But Naruto, refining his chakra to such a degree, was able to, shoot his feathers like senbon needles. And then on the actual feather part, instead of, like, the quill, there's, like, the kanji for explosion, or the kanji for lightning, or the kanji for fire, stuff like that. Each different kanji would have a different effect depending on what they're hitting. Sometimes it's even, like, sleep ones. Because of this, Naruto was very, very skilled in, getaways, captures, and all these other ones. He's been hired as a bodyguard. No one really knew that he was, they knew he was young. He was a 14-year-old, and they didn't give him much, but, you show up with, like, the hearts of 100, like, burglars. They gotta give you some respect, right? So, yeah. And, eventually the Akatsuki do get wind of him. And in the bingo book for the Sand, because the Sand kind of have bad blood with this man, because, Gaara tried to sand coffin Naruto when he was on a simple escort mission through the sand, and the sand had a mission to take out his Naruto's client. So yeah, Naruto utterly decimated Gaara and made Gaara experience pain. And when Gaara tried to, awaken Shukaku, Naruto busted out a recorder, which, Temari, Kankuro were confused, but, once Naruto did, his client understood, cover your ears, and they placed a tag on their cart, and they told, their driver, get in, and then close every single surface so no sound could work and the seal can activate. They do. The seal is like a soundproof box pretty much now. And Naruto starts to play the recorder, which, Temari, Kankuro, and Shukaku, their chakra is completely and utterly fucked up. Through this sound manipulation, their entire chakra network has been disrupted. They can't pump chakra through their body at all. They're trying to move and nothing's happening. Rather than, think of it like how Tsunade would fuck with somebody by hitting them in the back of the neck. But rather, Naruto's doing this is causing them to go under, auditory genjutsu. Now, Naruto, he does not know how to play this shit at all. It's just, he puts his will, he thinks of what he wants to, and focuses his chakra with that same goal in mind. And then, the flute the recorder just naturally goes to it. Eventually it got the title of Scream, but yeah, because that's all people can do, because the only reason you're allowed to move is to scream. That's the only thing you can do is just scream. That's the only thing Naruto lets you do. So, they're trapped in their genjutsus, and, Shukaku is more pissed off because Naruto entered the mindscape, which he was confused on how the fuck he knew about this or how to do this. But, Naruto, deciding to have a bit of fun, decides to do a jutsu from, Ashura. He does his hand signs, says domain expansion, and, inside Shukaku's mind, like in the mindscape of Gaara, I guess, with Shukaku, Naruto then causes Shukaku to feel every single thing within the 500 meter radius. Every living creature. As it breathes, he breathes. As it exhales, he exhales. He feels everything. Every single emotion, every single thought they've ever felt. He's like, he doesn't get the memories. He just feels all their emotions since birth, all coursing through him like in a second. Lifetimes of emotions are all coursing through him, causing his mind to go, haywire and, overshoot itself, causing, Shukaku to fall. As, Shukaku is looking at Naruto, he damns him, saying, like, he can't get away with this. Naruto saying he kind of already did. And, Naruto saying, and it's time for you to, take a good long nap. As, Naruto sticks out his hand and finesses half of Shukaku's chakra. This, Naruto then takes it all, condenses it all into a single, dot, and just pokes Shukaku in the forehead, and his will within this chakra was just to sleep. And until this, chakra is extinguished while Shukaku sleeps, which this is where it gets kind of fun. Half of the chakra is being regenerated as Shukaku sleeps. So it will eventually fall out, run out, but nothing. It took Gaara 2.5 years before Shukaku would awaken, and that's when, Chunin exams are going to start. So, yeah. In the hidden cloud, they're kind of cool with Naruto. Someone tried to fight him with to prove, his 8-sword style is superior than some fool who uses scissors. But, Naruto was pretty much able to counter all of his blows. while still holding it as a scissor, just a giant bulky scissor. You know, I'm sure you guys know who this is. This is Killer B. He's smiling and he gives Naruto credit because, Naruto's like, what, 14 and a half? And he's keeping up with Killer B. Killer B decides to, show him his chakra cloak. And Naruto smiles as, I can do that too. B stops. Cloak goes down. His swords stop. Like, his swords are like, not like only in it, like only two are in his hands and one in his mouth. He spits out the one in his mouth. And he's saying, for real? Naruto, because he wears a mask, he then, removes it to show his eye. And then it turns into the red tail, Kurama's red eye. And, this causes Killer B to enter the mindscape between the two. That's spoilers. Anyway, Naruto, he shows Kurama, and Kurama says hi to... not Chomi. Gyoki. Gyoki, that was his name. And, Kurama and him, they catch up as, Killer B and Naruto, they start exchanging information. And, Killer B just realizes, oh shit, I can't fight him. He's like me. Killer B, sticks out his fist. Naruto sticks out his fist. And, Kurama whispers to, Gyoki that Naruto is the reincarnation of Ashura Otsutsuki, the old man's son. Chomi's eyes widen. Not Chomi. Gyoki. Gyoki's eyes widen because he's just like, you're shitting me. Kurama shakes his head and he's just like, yeah. He explains that the ninja tools that he have, don't they look the tiniest bit familiar? This is when he realizes, oh shit. Yo, didn't we help make these? Kurama's just nodding. So, he is telling Killer B, yeah, you might have died. He asked Naruto, do you have all of them with you? Naruto's saying, well, 2 of them are at home since, he can't always take everything with him. Especially since one of them is, he can always... Never mind. Gyoki just tells him to shut up and, he's just saying, okay, Killer B and me, we're part of the cloud. So as long as you don't do wrong by them, we can be cool as fuck. And I want that. Because if Kurama is telling the truth, then there's no doubt in my mind that you are definitely someone we kind of need as an ally, at least. Naruto kind of smiles at this, and he's just telling them, sure. He wouldn't mind. He doesn't really have friends. Him and Kurama have been there since he was been 4, but he's traveled a lot, so he never really bothered getting a crew of his own. But, Naruto's not too upset by it. But yeah. Now, Naruto, he does not belong to a village, and he's not registered as a ninja in any village. He's registered as, a rogue shinobi with no headband. They don't know any information. But, Killer B sends a message to A and tells him, that, shinobi, if we could get him on our side, what would you say? A says, fuck no. Are you a fucking idiot? So, he's saying sorry, brother, but is a no-go. Naruto understands, but, tells him the 2 are friends, so, if they need each other, they'll know. They keep in touch, and, before Naruto leaves, Gyoki, he tells Naruto to, stick out his hand, and he's gonna give him some chakra. Naruto asks why, and, he's saying, if you are, the old man's son's reincarnation, then he feels like maybe, just maybe, saying he was able to help you out when they see the old man again, it would be, beneficial. He doesn't know what the old man can do. It's just he would probably want us to help you. So, yeah. And, Naruto tells him, well, Shukaku tried to kill us, so, yeah. Gyoki's saying, well, Shukaku's kind of a bitch, so that's neither here nor there. So, yeah. Now, Naruto travels throughout, like, the whole country, countries, I guess. And, the Akatsuki are interested in this rogue ninja, or who they believe is a rogue ninja. But, to their surprise, because, the Uchiha massacre still happened, so Itachi, when he goes to fight Naruto recognizes him, the headbanding, saying, oh, you were from the Hidden Leaf? What a coincidence. Itachi just, he asked Naruto, oh, so you were there, were you from there, too? Fuck, I hate myself. Fuck. Let's get back into it. Another reason why I don't bother editing, besides being super fucking lazy, it just shows that not only do I just continue to go with this, because fuck it, it also just shows that, yo, if y'all fucking want to, just start doing this yourselves. Now, I think the key difference is, I don't do this for monetary value, so I probably won't ever, get monetized, or if I ever do, it would be when, I'm desperate. But, oh well. That's neither here nor there, actually. Let's just continue this before this gets kind of weird. Naruto, after accepting Gyoki's chakra and traveling throughout the countries, he, meets Fu. Fu is also a Jinchuriki who's roughly his same age, who, she's also hated by her village, and Naruto, he offers, for her to come with him. Fu's kind of confused on why, she would ever want to do that. Wait a fucking minute, I just skipped the Itachi thing. Frick. Retracking, 30 seconds. So, Itachi would try and fight Naruto, and Naruto would pull out his scissor blades. Itachi would use his Sharingan eyes to try and block them, but the speed that Naruto swings them is just barely enough for for Itachi to dodge. Itachi, when he busts out his Susanoo, thinking, this is it, he's about to hit Naruto with the Amaterasu. He opens the one eye to use Amaterasu, but when he opens it, Naruto capitalizes on the fact that Itachi, had one eye closed, and he's about to, do the other thing. So he activates, the sword's special ability, which is to be super motherfucking bright. Solar flare times a bajillion, my dude. Instantly blinding Itachi's eye. Damn near as if he was the Izanami. This damages Itachi's eye a lot more than what he thought would happen. He was staring right into it. This hurts Itachi, which, causes his partner to die, rather than die to the Three Tails, which, yes, the Mizukage would still be alive, and that's going to be addressed soon. But no, back to the Fu thing. I'm sorry for skipping Itachi scene, but, Naruto would take this moment to use his wings and get the fuck out of there. Well, Itachi just holds his searing, semi-blind eye. His retina... Ooh, his retina hurts so badly. You just imagine how much fun that would be. I'm fighting an Uchiha, what do I do? My guy's just you watch his feet. Master Chief's just flashbang. What? Flashbang. What do you mean? They use eyes, right? Yeah? Flashbang. I don't know how that would work. No. Flashbang. Fuck a fireball gonna do when, you get a flashbang in your face? Like grenade. Anyway. Shit, that's funny. Anyway, let's get back to this. God damn, Ivan. Anyway, Naruto and Fu, they start talking, and Naruto explains, he left his village when he was 4. 10 years, he grew up with, his Jinchuriki, and, you know, Chome and Fu, they're pretty decently close. Naruto's just like, wait, Chome. He's just like, wait a minute. Naruto asks Fu, for her hand. Fu kind of blushes at this, but agrees. So as, the two hold hands, Naruto focuses his mind, enters, bridges a mindscape between Fu and Naruto. Their Jinchurikis meet, and, Kurama's still not as big as he would be in canon. Like, if he was, 100%, but, slightly bigger than 50. He looks at Chome, and, he's saying, look at the kid's, gear. Chome stares at it, realizes that, that's, Ashura's gear. So, Kurama's, saying, yeah, this kid, long story short, pretty much related. So, Chome's telling Fu, no, you might actually want to go with this guy. If what Kurama's saying is true, then, the guy who created, them, Naruto is indirectly related to them. Through some bullshit that, Chome's kind of pissed about, but, why did Kurama get to have the broken OP Jinchuriki host? She's just thinking, I wonder what this kid can do. But, Fu's saying, if Naruto can beat her, then sure, Naruto. Bro, I'm not even gonna lie to you, when he just washed her with 3 good hits, not even using any of the tools. He didn't use his Otsuki Sage mode. He didn't do any of that. He just ran towards her. 1 hit to the stomach, a knee to the chin, and then a chop to the back of the neck, and Fu's just laying in a giant crater. Naruto heals her still, which, surprised her because each blow felt like a boulder hitting a single pressure point, and, she don't like that. So, she reluctantly agrees to go with Naruto, and, they leave. And, of course, her sensei, oh, shit, popped my back. He's happy that, Fu's leaving, but with a friend, not because she's an evil monster or any of that bullshit. No, he's happy, she's leaving to go do her own thing, which, he's sad because, he liked Fu. Fu was this annoying little sister to him. Excuse me. Anyway, they go to the Hidden Mist Village, where they run into, Zabuza Mamochi and Haku Yuki. Or someone said that's what his last name would be because he's from the Yuki clan. I don't care anymore. Just fuck it. Haku's a guy in this one, actually. I'm gonna leave that alone. Just so I can have a Haku Fu ship. Just because I thought that'd be cool. Yes, Naruto would easily destroy Zabuza, but not kill him. Crippling him. Haku doesn't want to let his master die, but Zabuza tells him, just shut the fuck up already with the master bullshit. Haku's hurt by this, but, Naruto's just saying he does not appreciate you, me and her. We have very similar stories. Talk no jutsu later. Haku is joining them. And Haku actually does help turn in Zabuza. Mizukage is now being replaced because he's stepping down after, the whole blood mist thing. So, Mei, she's the new Mizukage. And, these 3 seemingly the same age group of kids show up, bring her Zabuza. She thinks this looks kinda funny. It's almost as if they were looking for a new ninja mission. But no, she knows, Zabuza tried to kill the previous one, all this good jazz. Zabuza is then executed, his blade is collected, and all that. But here's the difference. The Mizukage noticing that, Naruto's their infamous, Ashura, asks her, she asks him, like, what village is he associated with, or does he want to be associated with a particular village? He says he's related to no families and no clans other than the Uzumakis. She likes this vague answer because the Uzumakis were spread out thin enough that it's not a definite who where, but she likes the mystery of Naruto. So, she makes them a deal. The three of them become Genins for her. Naruto, he's just like, I'm pretty fine being my own guy. Fu just looks at him saying, I thought we were friends. And Haku's just like, yo, wasn't I supposed to come along? Naruto's then like, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna avoid a headache just later on, but still get a headache with them here. So I can't win or lose. Like, it's a win-lose, win-lose, or lose-win. There's no win-win scenario, but it could be a lose-lose scenario. So Naruto, he's just like, I'm not gonna fight it. Alright then. We're ninjas, I guess. She smiles, and, she tells them, okay, this is the paperwork you're going to need to be filling out, and all their things that they're going to have to explain. First Haku explains, he has ice style, so water and wind nature, and then the rare bloodline. The Mizukage is thrilled and accepts him perfectly fine. Now, Fu, however, only was a wind style user. However, her being the Seven Tails made her just like, you know what, fuck it. No, sweetie, you find joining. We would love to have you. Now, Mei says the two are dismissed while, she has to interview Ashura since Ashura has enemies and, she wants to get to know him better. And Naruto would be like 16 at the time, so chill. We getting there. So Mei, she sits on her desk and her legs are crossed over one another, and Naruto, like, he's still wearing his mask, but like he's damning his best not to like look at her thighs and legs. He's trying to avoid staring at her breasts. And, Kurama, he's just struggling. He's just like, Naruto, it's natural. Naruto's just like, shut up, Fox. Kurama, he's just like laughing. Are you still embarrassed that you got caught looking at a dirty magazine? Naruto's just like, shut up, Fox. There was an old lady who just saw Naruto doing this at a store one time. So, she gave him a fucked up look, and Naruto's been, like, on the edge ever since. So, it's just funny. Anyway, Mei, she asked Naruto to at least remove his mask so she can see his face. Naruto agrees, and, she's kind of surprised. She gets close to Naruto. Naruto does blush a little bit because, it's like 2 inches of space between their face. Not keeping a good social distance. Especially because she's asking him to take off his mask, guys. No, Mei, you're spreading the virus. I'm terrible. I really am. But no, to continue our story, Mei, she's just flirting with Izuku more and more. And, not Izuku, Naruto. Fuck. Hey. Fuck am I on? Anyway, she starts stroking Naruto's cheeks. Like, her fingers are going through his whiskers marks. She's just saying, they're so cute. Naruto's blushing. And, he's just saying, is this something, all Kages do? Like, when interviewing a ninja? Mei says, like, not all Kages, and not with all ninjas. Mei says she's a different type of Kage, and she knows that Naruto is a special type of ninja. And, that Uzumaki bloodline. she then says she herself has, two rare bloodlines, a boil and a lava release. Naruto's just like, oof, no wonder she's so hot. Mei, she's just smiling. She's just saying, how about just a kiss that will melt Naruto to the bone? Which Naruto's just like, okay then, I'm gonna do this. I'm about to lose my virginity to the Kage here. Naruto, he just like does the hand signs of domain expansion. The marks appear all over his body. Mei's confused, like, what the? Naruto rips off his shirt, in Naruto's saying so she can get like a good full body examination of, the Uzumaki blood that's pumping through him. And, Naruto says something very cheeky and saying, and, Naruto's hoping to be pumping into her soon, which Mei, she just like smiles and she licks her lips and she's saying, let's see how the kiss goes at first. Naruto's just like, fuck. The only experience I have are those stupid Ichi books and they were kind of trash. So, Naruto goes in, he makes out with Mei. 50 minutes later, eventually everyone in the village is just hearing like the loudest forms of moaning and ecstasy, pleasure, screams, and gusts of wind are coming out of the Hokage's office. And when I mean gusts of winds, I mean like there are like insane, and I mean insane amount of chakra leaking out through this place that like, the door has been barricaded and put seals on both sides. But the windows, my guy, are just like broken. And, the amount of force between Naruto collecting his thrusts are just too much. And Mei's just losing herself. And, eventually her legs do just like give out and she can't stand no more. Naruto releases his Milky Release Jutsu. Mei, a fan of milk, tastes the bloodline and deems it worthy. And, she tells Naruto that in the hidden mist, he can have, like, their traditions are, like, 5 wives. But, if he would want more, then she's pretty sure they can do something since he's the last Uzumaki. She says that she's, like, licking her lips, and Naruto's just like, so that was sex. That was fucking awesome. He's just thinking to himself, I want to do that again. This bitch crazy though. Like, what the fuck was up with that choking shit? I was scared. I was starting to black out after a few seconds. But she kept on choking me. And then Naruto's thinking, but why did I like it? It's some, I guess you could say, fucked up humor on my part, but I thought it would be funny. I still do. Now, to continue on with our story of, Naruto and his new teammates. They're told, they'll be Genins, but, Chunin exams are happening. And, despite their Chunin exams, like, results, it's just, like, a formality. They can still pass. They know their actual skills. Shit like that. And Naruto smiles. He's excited. And let us time skip a, remaining period of time to the Chunin exams, I guess. They've trained. Naruto and Fu have gotten really good friends. Haku's gotten over Zabuza, using him as a tool. Haku and Fu have gotten clappity clap with each other. They've played pelvic pinochle, naked twister, left foot on green, right foot on red, like head in pink, that shit. And Naruto, you know, he knows he can get multiple wives, but he's not really seen anyone in the Mist Village who's caught his eye. But him and Mei have, continued their visits, and Mei wishes she could, but as the Mizukage, she can't. So, oh well. Plus, Naruto being as young as he is, it would be kind of weird. So either she waits until he's 18 and can pounce on him and without fear, or she's just fucked, or she just fucks Naruto until whenever. But she's fine with like the last option because it's like they get to do things, but they don't actually have to worry about anything else. There's no actual love involved, if you will. It's more like Naruto learning and actually getting sexy time training and knowing what to do. And, so he won't fall for female Kunoichi seduction techniques. But now, I digress because Naruto, when he enters the Hidden Leaf, what he sees is, Kankuro about to kill Konohamaru. Naruto, he doesn't really care about what happens. Oh shit. Yes, Naruto having one for all. So Naruto doesn't really care about, like, villages going to shit, but, he does notice that it's the Sand siblings. So, he busts out Scream. So Fu and Haku, they already have, headphones in. Like, their ears are plugged. As Naruto already starts playing, Kankuro's chakra is instantly disrupted. But only Kankuro's. Konohamaru hears the flute music, and to him, it's like a cherry blossom trees has, like, gone into full bloom. It's springtime. Like, he just smells, like, the scent of rain in the distance. There is a warm, gentle breeze caressing him. This is what he sees and feels. He doesn't feel Kankuro, like, choking him anymore. Instead, he just feels himself laying in the patch of grass. It's really weird. Kankuro is, like, under a full, eyes in hypnosis-esque level bullshit. Pausing. Sorry, me brother needed me for something, but that's not important. Let us continue with the what if. Now, Naruto, he pretty much has put, Kankuro through his genjutsu again. And Tamari has recognized, the flute music. So, she's on guard right now. She tries to snap Kankuro out of it before she can, like, step forward. Her body's coated with these threads and wires that she never even saw being spun. And then there's a clone of Naruto who's just, like, dropping down. And he's saying, I guess you've aged well. As he's, like, examining her body up and down. Tamari's just like, what the? She's just like, because Naruto's not wearing the mask anymore, but he's wearing the hidden mist, like, headband, so his forehead is blocked, so they can't see the mark. She just sees a blonde hair with blue whiskers, a blonde hair, blue-eyed, whiskered-faced boy, fucking with them, and she asks, are you, Ashura? Yes. Her eyes widen, and, she's just like, you're fucking kidding me. Because they still have that crush the leaf plan. And Naruto, he undoes his threads. They just retract. Kankuro has already let go of Konohamaru without him realizing. But, yeah. Naruto undoes his, like, sound jutsu. But now Kankuro can't control his chakra well. Like, he's not under the genjutsu, but his chakra's not responding to him. So, yeah. He tells them, it's good seeing them. And, he's examining Tamari again, and he straight up says, and it's really good seeing you. Tamari, her eyes, they kind of widen. She thought she was dead, but, this guy who could easily have killed her is checking her out. She blushes a little bit when she comes to that understanding. But, Naruto being gone, she couldn't do or ask much about him. Kankuro's looking at his sister, you're like, no fucking way are you interested in him, right? Tamari's just like, no. I mean, his whiskers were kind of cute. Kankuro's just like, I can't fucking believe you. Remember what he did to Gaara? Gaara finally shows up. Gaara's just like, so he's here. Shikaku is just like, yawning still. Fuck. Shikaku was like woken up for like a few minutes every now and then where he's like in a haze, but Gaara has reminded not Kankuro, but Shikaku about what had happened, and Shikaku, when he wakes up, he's trying to stay awake, but he's just so tired, so he goes back. But they know that it's soon that Shikaku will be fully awake. So yeah, things kind of go as normal, where Naruto and his team, they go into the place where all the ninjas are. The whole like genjutsu thing is still happening. Fu and Haku look at Naruto, and Naruto's just kind of like, come on, let's just continue forward. They go into the other like side of the stairs. Hanabi, Sakura, and Sasuke, they were still caught up with the one thing in the kick. So, right as, the shit was about to go down with Lee and all that noise, Hanabi and Neji look at each other. They scowl. They know what's up. Hanabi knows that Neji's hating her for something her father did. Hanabi's tried to explain to Neji, yo, that's not me. I'm not like that, but why are you hating me? Neji's just more like sins of the father type bullshit. So, sorry, not sorry. But that's how it is. So as Naruto progresses and at this, stairs, this is when more ninjas show up and say, what do you think you're doing? And, Naruto legit not given a single fuck. He just, with one finger, causes a thread to appear and causes this guy to, be dragged from the floor through the ceiling and around the hallway, all through a thin string that he had set up through the door. Pretty much think of it like a rig that would drag them across from the wall to the ceiling to the floor in a twisting motion as it forces them out. So Naruto had done that, and yeah, the ninja just got thrown into a tree, and everyone's kind of surprised. They didn't know what kind of thread that was, but they just see Naruto's hand with the glove, as the fingertip has that metal thing where the string was retracting back into. And then, the back of his hand had that weird coil that seems to indicate how the thread is moving. People are paying attention to this because, there's rumors about someone who has that. So, who do you think is confronting them? Well, Hanabi. Now, you might ask, why Hanabi? Because, you will see. Now, just hear me out on this. Kiba, was killed on a mission with, because of Naruto. Because, Hinata and Shino were down, and Naruto's telling them, if they just surrender, he doesn't have to kill them. But, the leaf won't fall. Shino makes a stand. Hinata's, she's damning herself because she's not strong enough right now, so she's being a hindrance. So, she's trying to plead with Shino, they can just, stay down. He won't kill us.
Naruto's just like, it's not that, it's just the type of death you're choosing. Acceptance of death is quick, resistance of death is painful. You know, Naruto, he pulls out, his threads as he begins to literally cut up every single insect that Shino has, causing him great pain because, he's attached to them, but he has no choice. His insects, that's all he can do right now. Eventually Naruto gets tired with him, and using all of the blood and liquid that came from the insects, Naruto uses his ring, causing all of the liquid to turn into spikes, and sends them through, Shino's body. This ultimately kind of poisons Shino, which he wasn't expecting, but yeah, Shino starts dying. Hinata can't really save him. And Naruto's just like, this is where you guys die. Pulls out Ekstase, breaks it into a dual wielding blade, puts all of his chakra into the blades, ready to, do a double decapitation when Kiba comes in with his fang over fang, and Naruto just fucking vivisects the shit out of him in one single swipe, cutting him up into 10 pieces, as Akumaru had, bitten onto Kiba and Hinata, their sweaters, and ran off. As Akumaru's crying at the death of his master. He knew, but this is what Kiba wanted him to do. So Akumaru gets far enough, and he runs back towards Kiba, and the moment he does, Naruto decapitates Akumaru without hesitation. Naruto, he doesn't hate them, it's just part of his job. His job is to fend a client, and the Leaf for spying on his client. He told them stop spying or, consequences. This causes, Team Kurenai to retract because their teammate died and they ended up having to drop their spy mission. The third was devastated at the death of one of such a young, Genin. It wasn't supposed to go like that. They didn't expect Ashura to be there. But Ashura truly left them in, devastation. So Hanabi is just there because the hatred, the beef, the sister beef has to be her beef too. So she's straight up saying, "Are you Ashura?" He just smiles, and as he looks back at her, he starts checking her out because Naruto will always be checking out a chick because Kurama has some perverted influences on him, with having multiple mates. Since, as an heir of the Otsutsuki, he must keep the bloodline going. He must bring in, the power of it, that's, the Sage of Six Paths, his teachings. They must come through Naruto and his children, and have them, spread the word and all that noise. And Naruto was just like, I guess, my guy? I mean, I would have been fine with just one girlfriend, but you saying that I can have multiple, and that I won't be pain, and it won't be a pain. Yeah, I think we'll try your shit, but if it backfires, I'm letting them beat you up before they touch my face. Kurama chuckles as he accepts the deal, but yeah, Hanabi is staring Naruto down, and Naruto's just like, yeah, he's just looking at his scissor blade because Hanabi took a quick glance at it. Naruto's just he grabs it, draws it out. The tension around everyone is thick. Naruto, he points his scissors at Hanabi. That she's not backing down at all. And Naruto's just like, here, you wanted to see them, I'm guessing, right? So, the scissors are pointed at her neck, not trying to intimidate, but trying to intimidate. And Hanabi does not flinch, which, Naruto's noticing, and he's just like, a bold one, I like it. Hanabi's just like, you hurt my sister. Naruto's just like, fuck, damn it. And he's just like, oh, was your sister as cute as you, or how did that work? Naruto's just like, you gotta help me out here. in my line of work that there has been a count of bodies that just, you just don't bother remembering their faces. This pisses off Hanabi because, Hinata was devastated at Kiba's death. So, yeah. And, this is when Hinata and Shino show up and they're scowling at Naruto. Hinata grabs Hanabi and saying, no, this isn't right. This isn't where they're going to, do this. Now, in case you're wondering who's on their team, it would be Sai. Just hear me out now. Sai got drafted early. Anyway. Yes. It's just because Sai's birds gave him more surveillance possibilities, and his ink beast would pretty much replace, Kiba like that. So that's how that was. So Naruto, he smiles when he sees, Hinata and Shino, because he's just like, no, you two I do recognize. He puts back his sword back in his, sheath. As, he tells them, well, I hope you survive. That's all he says is, he turns his back to them. Hanabi stops him again and saying, what's his name? This is when he's just like, which one? I'm pretty sure you already know, the Ashura one. So are you asking for the name I was given? But, Naruto knows that, if he says Naruto Uzumaki in the Hidden Leaf Village, there might be some, beef and, some shit, but, yeah. Hanabi saying, yeah. Naruto saying, she has not given him anything, so, there's nothing for him to give her. But if she wants his name, maybe something she can offer him, in return. Naruto's just like, if, Hanabi goes out with it, shares a meal with him, then he can give her his name. But until then, all she can call him is Ashura. Hanabi kind of, she blushes a little bit because she realizes that, she just got asked out, but Hinata is scowling at Hanabi for, even considering dating the guy who killed her teammate. Sai is just like, I don't care. Sakura, Sasuke, all of them, they're there. They're, wondering who that is. Even Neji, once he realizes, so that's, Ashura? They're like, yeah. And, this is where something, just for the sake of simplicity, Hinata's saying there's something familiar about him. They're looking at her like, wait, the fuck do you mean? She's saying, she can't explain it. It's just, something about his face is so familiar. Now that they've seen his actual face. Hanabi starts to think about it. She says, yeah, actually, kinda. Neji, he asks, what does he look like? And they explain. Neji starts thinking about it. Everyone in, the Leaf, the Rookie 12, 11 plus Sai. That sounds so fucked up. Correction, it'd technically be 10 plus Sai and Hanabi. How about that? Damn, that's more fucked up. Anyway, they're starting to think, why did that kid look familiar to them? They're in their, thing, and Kabuto's there. All that still happens. And, Sasuke has to ask. He still gets voted by Lee and all that shit. Hanabi tried to warn Sasuke that he would lose, but Sasuke didn't listen and got voted. Sakura's mad at Hanabi because, Hanabi just let him do it. But, she's warned him, and, Uchiha thinks he's all shit, but he gets his shit whipped. Boo fucking who. This is why they're weak. That's kind of a thing that Hanabi and Sasuke have. So their teamwork is shit. Even worse than Naruto and Sasuke. Hanabi would always bring up the fact that, the Hyugas are the ones who run the village, not the Uchihas. The Uchihas were backstabbers and traitors. The Hyuga, the Byakugan, is the pure white eye. The Uchihas are just a copy eye. They're just copycats.
they don't do anything by their own merit. Some fighting words. But that was cut short when, my guy still shows up, punches Lee, and all that weird shit. But when, they're asking about names, rather than Gaara of the Sand and Rock Lee, they ask about Ashura. Now, Kabuto looks at them and saying, "You're fucking kidding me, right? Like, no one knows what the guy looks like." This is when, just for the sake of fun, Naruto is just like from the ceiling, just like, I'm actually up here. They all look up and they see Naruto just like staring at them. He then moves his fingers, like twitches them as threads engulf all of them, clutching them really tightly. Then he just drops down. He's squeezing every single one. This includes Kabuto. As Naruto then proceeds to take all of Kabuto's cards and burn them right before Kabuto, pissing him off. Kabuto's just like, how fucking dare you? Do you have any idea how long it took to... Naruto punches Kabuto straight in the fucking jaw, sending him outside the fucking window, but he stops and gets pulled back into Naruto's knee into the stomach, which, sends him flying out again. And the threads just pull him back into Naruto's elbow, which, this finishes off Kabuto, and Naruto's just like, yeah. He's looking at Hanabi, and he's just like, wow. So your teammate wants to know about me. He's looking at Sasuke, and he's just like, damn Uchiha, never change. This is like, kind of like confusing them. Why does he making it seem like he knows them? He's just like, you guys really can't tell. You guys are fucking idiots. This is when Naruto decides to have a little bit of fun. He checks out Ino, Sakura, Tenten, Hanabi, Hinata, and he just points out Ino. And he's saying, you. I'm a mark you. Which, they're all confused on what does he mean, mark. Which, Naruto, the markings appear all over his body. He's entered his Otsutsuki Sage mode, which they can feel the amount of chakra behind him is just like a goddamn volcano erupting. The destructive power is immense. And, at best, they look like a crackhead lighter. That's the heat they got. As comparison. So, Naruto lifts up Ino's chin and, proceeds to kiss her. Now, her eyes widen, but, she's not fighting the kiss. In fact, she kind of goes into the kiss, which surprised Naruto a little bit, but, he had a grin at the end of it, when he pulled away. She's panting a little bit as, a mark appears on her tongue. And in case you're wondering, what mark could have appeared on her tongue? It's just a simple, circle and a dot within it. Kind of like a dot, like an eye. Or like the sun mark, if you will. Which, she's panting. As, she realizes something. She gained the memories. She knows who he is. She's saying, I can't believe it's you. They're asking, what do you mean? Naruto's saying, he picked Ino. He marked Ino. So Ino knows who he is. He shared some information with her, but, he's saying, he points, like, he sticks out his tongue and, like, points to it, and then retracts it and saying, except I also marked her tongue. She can't say anything against me. Anything that involves Naruto, she can't speak of.
And this kind of makes her conflicted because whatever emotion she would feel about Naruto at the time would instead turn into a desire to repeat the tongue kiss, which is not from Naruto, but just what she wants herself. This is her own inner desire. She kind of wants Naruto to do that again. She wants more of it, in fact. This is, the ability of Otsutsuki Chakra. You know, she wants him to plant the tree seed. I'm going to hell. I'm going to hell, but that was fucking funny. Anyway, let us end this what if here. I will be doing other shit later. I hope y'all have a good one. This might be uploading soon, I don't know. Godspeed, my people. The song ending is Lost and Found by Nefix, one of my personal favorites. And it's truly one of them beats that, you just gotta listen to get it.